Hello, and welcome to Generation Woman, a special Women's History Month discussion. I'm Natasha Jacque, your Senior Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Eurest and ESFM. Right now, 4 distinct generations now coexist in the workforce, each generation bringing its own formative and collective experiences. I have the pleasure of being joined by 4 incredible women from Eurest and ESFM representing 4 generations in our workforce. I know we're going to have a great discussion today, ladies. Let's start by learning a little bit more about each of you. Shirley, can you kick us off?
My name's Shirley. I'm a catering captain for Eurest, and I'm a baby boomer.
My name is Kathy Fenty. I'm Regional Vice President for the Southeast for Eurest, and I am Gen X.
My name is Deja Tatum, Chef Manager for Eurest, and I'll be representing the millennial generation.
Hi, I am Deborah Martinez, and I'm a Unit Director for ESFM, and I am part Generation Z.
Awesome. So let's get into it. Deborah, I'd like to start with you. So how do you see your early career experiences influencing the kind of leader you aspire to be?
I was very fortunate to have had and have great managers and great leaders at the same time that have paved the path of my career that I'm currently in. So mentorship, I think mentorship plays a big role in, I'm not going to just say a woman career, but vice versa. But I think I would like to pay that back in the future, mentor somebody, bring somebody under my wing and mentor them and make sure they're on the right path of their career.
I love that because I've experienced the same in my career as well, so it resonates. Kathy, as you've progressed in your career, how have you seen the role of women evolve through the decades? And what had the most significant impact on you?
So first, I don't think it's been one thing since I've kind of grown up through the company. I've been with Compass over 30 years. So I've seen a lot of change within Compass, Eurest, ESFM, significantly, and all the opportunities that have been presented to women to become leaders and to become great leaders. So I think that is very inspirational to me and probably a lot of other women joining the workforce, in the workforce, striving to be more.
Absolutely. I think when people can see themselves in a specific role, it makes them think that it's possible and they shoot for those things. Deja, how do you balance ambition with personal fulfillment in your career?
Balancing ambition with personal fulfillment is something that's very important as you go through your career. Most recently, over the course of the last year or two, I've had the pleasure of being a student. I most recently graduated from UNC Charlotte. I'm also a mother, as well as being a chef manager, amongst all of the other roles and responsibilities that we have. And your ambition can kind of begin to diminish as you take on so many responsibilities. But in order to keep that on, I think it's very important to, yes, be present and be where your feet are and be where the right now is, but also remember where you're headed and where you see yourself going and all of those things that are important to you. All of those things cohesively, they ensure that your ambition remains intact as you go through your career.
I love that, Deja. Shirley, can you share an important lesson you've learned from nearly 4 decades in hospitality and how other generations can benefit from it?
The most important that I've learned in hospitality is having patience. You have to have patience. And me, I was a person who I needed to learn. I wanted to learn. So anything that was out there for me, if you want to show me, if you're trying to teach me, I'm like a sponge. I'm going to suck it up because I want to know everything I can about hospitality because it's going to help me grow. One day I might want to have my own business. I know how to use it.
Absolutely.
I know how to use it.
Now, I'd like to ask the group some questions. So, Kathy, mentorship is a driving force for growth, experience, and building community. Can you tell us more about mentorship and how it's shaped your work life?
I believe that mentorship comes in very many forms throughout your life and career. So you take pieces from people that guide you and help you throughout your career to get you where you are today. The biggest piece I take from that is to make sure we pay it forward and give that back to somebody and help them grow their career in what they want to do and be the leader for them moving forward so they can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Deja, same question.
I would say personally that mentorship has been the most imperative things that I have done in my career. I've had the pleasure of being a part of a couple of mentorship programs that our culture of Eurest were able to offer, and of all of the things that has moved my career, mentorship has been the one that stands out because it allows you the opportunity to network and meet people, which is most important for sure. But more importantly than that, you build a community of people that you can call on when you need something, and that's more important, most important in the career world that I see myself working in. That it's not an island that you work for, live on, but you have people that are there for you that help you pull you up and hold your hand as you move forward for yourself.
Absolutely. That has actually been my experience. I always tell people I have a little village that I've built, and it started off with some of that informal mentorship. And I know, like, when I need things or I need advice or best practices, that's the village and the group of people that I can reach out to. And it's helped me build a network and grow in my career as well. So definitely resonated. Shirley, over the years, mental health has become a more open conversation, thanks in part to incoming generations. How do you view mental health, and how does your generation's perspective influence that?
When I was coming up, mental health wasn't anything that we discussed. It wasn't in the family at all. If you had issues, problems going on, it was hush. You know, shove it under the rug, push it in the closet. It wasn't nothing that we talked about. As I've grown in the workplace, mental health is important. I never knew how important mental health was until I personally experienced it myself within my family. My thing about mental health is don't be afraid or ashamed to talk to someone. You gotta open up and talk with somebody. It's a trust thing for a whole lot of people that they won't talk about their mental. But I feel and I find now that if you can trust one person, maybe two, talk it out, talk to them. The thing of mental health is we don't always need advice. We just need a listening ear.
Absolutely.
We just need a listening ear. So we find that one person that we know we can trust and we can talk to, knowing it will not come back, or you're going to use it as a weapon against me. That's what we need.
Absolutely. Deborah, same question for you.
I agree with Miss Shirley over here. I think it's very important take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't effectively take care of others, and you can't perform at your best in the leadership role. Our generation, I think, is significantly open about it. There's just less stigma behind the topic of mental health. And I think nowadays, like this digital literacy, there's more apps of therapy, and there's meditation apps where people could just easily just download it from your phone, and or just chat with someone through the phone. You don't have to sit in front of somebody. So I think mental health is more of an open conversation now, and people are very well aware of it.
I also want to share that, within Eurest and ESFM, our DIAC has started a mental health matters ERG. So if someone out there that's watching needs help or just looking for resources, want some allies, just be part of that discussion, please reach out to get information about the ERG. We're looking to get as many members as possible, and we want to, as an organization, be sure that we're breaking down those stigmas. Now, how has motherhood influenced your approach to work-life balance? And this is a question for all of our panelists. I'll start with you, Deborah.
Prioritizing your time, making sure you don't bring work home, and just some piggyback from prioritizing, so you won't feel burned out and either your motherhood role and whatever role you play within within our work.
Awesome. Deja?
I would say for me that motherhood is one of the greatest joys that I have. You know, I get the pleasure of having two babies who look up to me and they think that what I do is the coolest thing ever. And so while I may be a chef manager now, I'm a mom forever. So that always
Absolutely.
comes first for me. And just as Deborah stated, just prioritizing your life and organizing things in a way that you have that balance where you don't take work home, but you also don't bring home to work as well. You know, having those calendars set, having reminders set, and just having a very Monday through Friday scheduling for yourself, and planning properly so that you can be able to be successful in your career for your children, but also be a mom to your children as well.
Absolutely. Kathy?
So organization, of course. Mine are grown, so it's a little bit harder to recall, but they do come first and foremost, and they always have and always will. But make sure you plan and you have a backup plan to that plan, because
Plan A through Z, right?
that doesn't always work. But as long as you keep your family first and prioritize, I think you're good as gold.
Miss Shirley?
Patience. For me, for some reason, I don't know how, why, I've always been able to take care of my family first and my job to a point to where I go home, it's all about my kids. When I'm at work, it's all about my team. So, and with that, you have to have patience. You have to have patience so when you're at work, you're able to focus, able to concentrate on what you're doing at work, as well as once you cut that clock, you go home, you're on another clock.
I always tell people my real job starts when I get off of work.
For sure.
Exactly.
But for me, I would honestly say it's just having grace and being able to understand that you can't be everything to everyone at every time. And ensuring, and this is something that I'm learning this year, it's something new for me, that I'm pouring into myself as much as I'm pouring into my children and into the work. You know, like don't feel guilty about having a moment to just pour into yourself. So, one final question, and I'd like to hear from all of you again. And Deja, I'm going to start with you. Can you share something you've learned from another generation at work?
Oh, this is a great question. One thing that I can say I've learned from other generations of women that I've worked with is for the very well respected older generations is to take it by force. These opportunities, they may not have had them, you know, when they were going into their career and getting it started. So if a position was offered, well, we'll just take it. But now if that position is offered and those negotiations don't seem appropriate, or you know that you're worth a little bit more, you go in and you know you stand up for yourself, because this is a time where women are standing up for themselves. We don't have to just take what's given to us. We can stand up for ourselves and know that, hey, I know my worth and you're going to treat me as such. So that's one thing that I've learned from the well respected older generations that I've had the pleasure of working with.
I love that. Kathy?
It's hard to follow that one. Mine is just technology. So,
But I mean,
I know,
it is huge. Technology is basically
Yes,
how
it
we
is.
run
I
the world now.
run the
so
world now.
it's a
So
big
it's
one.
been a big help for me. I've learned a lot of shortcuts from the people that work for me, work around me, work above me. So I think it's a phenomenal thing that I can reach out to just about anybody, and they can teach me something new every day.
Love that. Miss Shirley?
My thing about the younger generation as far as work is um, if it's a passion for you, you'll do it. Um, I was told that if you love what you're doing, as far as work is concerned, you're not working. So anybody that I work with that's younger than me, when they come to me like Miss Shirley this, Miss Shirley that, Miss Shirley that, and the first thing I tell them, baby, you got to have patience. You got to have passion. And that's what I see, patience and passion. You got it, you're going to get it.
Love that. And Deborah?
Yeah, I mean, patience. I think to avoid burning out, I think patience and prioritizing your task. Because if you don't prioritize or you don't have patience in your workforce, then I think that burnout's going to come up a little bit more quicker. So
Absolutely. And I think I've learned flexibility and how to pivot because, historically you just kind of do what you're told and you stick to but like nowadays you got to pivot. That's just the world that we live in. And I think I've learned that from some of the younger generations, how to easily do that seamlessly. So for all the difference we have generationally, what we bring and experiences as women is truly a shared experience. Thank you for being here. Thank you, ladies, for your honesty and for being so vulnerable with us today.